Alright, let's talk quickly about Millicom International. It's an interesting stock. I've been looking at a lot of data for this one, so please smash the thumbs up button in advance because it took a lot of time to look through the 20F filing for you to look at the balance sheet, and the cash flow was the interesting part in this case. And we will get to this because depreciation and amortization from some brands and acquisition is dragging down results, but it's not affecting cash flow. So you will see in the 20F later in this video how great of a cash flow they are, and you can compare this to the 3 billion market cap for yourself. In terms of the financials, when we look at them here on just the regular Google, we see this net income and we see this quarter here with negative earnings per share, and it raises some questions indeed, and we will get those answered. So for those of you who are new to this stock, Millicom is operating, they're doing fiber basically in Latin America and expanding the cellular services here for mobile communication. They're a Luxembourg company, and the parent company that founded this is a Swedish company called Kinnevik. So one of those big conglomerates who are good at business development. Let's see, we can talk a bit about the year in numbers as well. They made a nice presentation for us. So what we see is gross profits growing, revenue growing, the business is growing. They have a lot of highlights here from operations as well, where they summarize all the segments of business, and we see that this is also growing, quite in contrast to the share price that has been absolutely tanking for this company. And then some other highlights, but I don't really like to just look at the highlights that the company bring up. So I took a look at the 20F filing and did some searching in this one, and we can see in terms of the cash flow here that if we look at both cash flow from continuing operations and discontinued operations and add these together, we see that the cash flow from operations is 354 million American dollars, and we can compare this to the market cap once again of 3 billion. So quite interesting in terms of valuation. And we also see, if we scroll up higher in this 20F filing, we see depreciation and amortization, which is added back when we adjust cash flow because they're not real expenses. We will also see the explanation for this, that there was this acquisition that Millicom made and they paid more than what's on the balance sheet, so you will have this goodwill, and this goodwill will be part of this depreciation and amortization. So the company is explaining all of this in the 20F. I will leave a link to the full report here as well, but just if we scroll really quickly, we will see all this just summary of executive pays, and there's a lot to sift through. So here the CEO, Mauricio Ramos, he will have all these things, and then a bit higher here we could find the income statement. So it's a lot to sift through. However, the income statement was not that interesting. The interesting part, in my opinion, was the balance sheet, the depreciation and amortization, as well as the cash flow statement, where we see how strong the cash flow is. And it's quite interesting to see this growing business with the strong revenue growth that they have. We can see here in terms of the financials that only 10% here for the last quarter, but then before that 37%, 44%, just some strong growth in a emerging market with good cash flows and profitability, and then trading at this valuation to cash flow. So basically, if you do 300 million and you multiply it by 10, then you get the 3 billion. So 1/10 in terms of cash flow. It's trading for a quite good valuation, in my opinion. I think that there could be some money to be made in this stock indeed, but I'm not fully sold yet. Let me know what your guys' opinion is in the comments below. It's clearly a interesting company, founded by a Swedish company now, doing these operations in South America. I saw they were quite diversified as well, having operations in a lot of Latin American countries. So in terms of some instability happening in a specific part of the region, it will not knock out operations completely and give them a huge loss in earnings per share sense. They have the potential to be profitable still. So that brings down the risk a bit also, in my opinion. But in terms of profitability and fiber and hooking up people in Latin America to the internet, I think that this is something that a lot of politicians, leaders will see happening. A lot of businesses really want this to happen. For example, Facebook really want to connect everybody to the internet so they can have new user growth. So just all different sectors of business are interested in hooking up more people to the internet. And Millicom here laying down the hardware for this is in a good space in terms of finding new business, as the numbers also tell this story. Alright, I'm rambling on about this company. That's been it for this video, and as always, hope you guys make a ton of money, whatever investments you decide to make. Take care now. Bye bye.